What's up, y'all? I'm not here for a review today. I just wanted to get into this conversation because these people keep doing interviews all over the place and ready to love. Let's talk about this. Before we talk about it, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and we can talk about it in the comments too if you got something to say. But anyway, can we talk about Jessica and Chris? When we first started watching this ridiculous ass season of Ready to Love, did we all think that we would be sitting here having a conversation about Jessica and Chris? I did not. Let's start here. Did I say that already? Tree thoughts, y'all. I might repeat myself. Anyway, I was going to watch it and review it anyway, so it has nothing to do with Janelle, but the shit started out corny with Mr. King of Dallas. And right from the start, I think we all knew there weren't any connections here. Okay. And we also felt like, what in the hell is happening? I don't know, Marvin. He may be a very nice man, but all we saw was his booty worshiping conversation. So I'm going to put that part on production. However, I try not to judge these people based on every little thing, you know what I'm saying? Because you can kind of tell when shit is cut weird. But I do try to give my point of view based exactly on what I see. Okay. I seen Janelle get on Instagram live and act a slapping fool. I don't follow them on Twitter. I never thought I would be this much invested in this freaking conversation. But I seen her act fool on IG. That was beginning of this whole situation. Plus, I thought she was off-putting before that. Like when she was talking about that girl's purse, all the stuff that came out of her mouth, made me not. I wasn't feeling her. I'm like, okay, what did the lady do though? Like, I'm gonna be telling you the complete honest truth. If somebody showed up with a Gucci bag that was fake, I probably wouldn't notice it. So it says a lot about Janelle that she was like really hard investigating this girl's bag. Like it would have to be a really bad fake. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't just assume that somebody's carrying a fake bag. I kind of don't care. That's not important to me. But that's the shit that came out of her mouth. I can't say production did that. No, she said that. It was a couple few things she did. And her demeanor is off-putting. Then she did that live, and I was like, oh wow, she's a crazy bitch. Like a whole grown ass, they put your age up every time. By 41 years old, you should not just be calling people ugly and telling, the stuff she does is so juvenile, it's ridiculous. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on Janelle, but I bring her up because there's two other people. I mean, there's another person um involved in this little collusion. um I feel like because Janelle and Jessica are friends, Jessica has been judged a lot by the company she keeps. Girl, if you want to, love on Janelle, I'm sure you see something in her we do not. I'm not even going to judge you based on that necessarily, but I think that's what was happening. And I try really hard not to do that because on the show, I didn't see Jessica act a fool. Like when we first see her, the initial is she's pretty. That's how I felt. Same way Chris felt. She cute, her dress, she fly, what have you. She said right out the gate that she had a coffee business. She's very well spoken. Does she have RBF? Yes, she does. I can't judge that because a lot of times I find myself in conversations with people that thought I was mean before they got to know me. I'm quiet until I get to know you. And if you talk a whole lot, I'm probably going to push you farther away. I don't really deal well with people that talk too damn much, especially in the workplace. Um, just too much too soon. I think relationships take time. So if you try to rush up on me, I'm gonna push your ass back. And that might come across as um I don't necessarily, I would not be somebody that would be considered combative because um I personally don't like confrontation. But I could be described as passive aggressive because I most definitely am. So it is what it is. It's a part of my personality makeup. Is that something I can work on? Probably. Am I actively doing that? No. Do I recognize it? Yes. So maybe that the fact that I recognize it means I could try not to do that. But depending on where you coming at me, that's what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? This is not about me though. This is about Jessica. Jessica likes to I mean she's intelligent. So she maybe I would say debate. I feel like she's bothered by the word combative because that's kind of not an accurate description and she has a right to be bothered by that. Um I find it weird that everybody's like she just keeps bringing up combative. Because y'all keep calling her that. Chris Lionel said he didn't do it. He did it about 4 times. So, you know, we're gonna talk, we'll get to him. But every episode that I would watch, and I would hear these things about her, and so then I would watch it again and be like, okay, but I'm not actually seeing her be the way they're describing her. Is it all happening off camera, or not? And I don't think that's what it was. I think this is a game. So we can stop pretending like these people are actually here to fall in love. That's not even how life works. That's not the expectation. It's not even reality because relationships are hard. And if we could just all walk into a room with 14 people and pick one, that would be awesome. We would all just be booed up and the world would be happily ever after, but that's not a thing. So anyway, it's a game. Let's be clear on that. We already know what the sides are. Those people that got eliminated early should have been eliminated early. Did we really want like 8 episodes of Habibi? No, we did not. Or Tequila. And honestly, Chris with the very southern accent, I wish he would have stayed longer, but he ain't know nobody. And that was your problem, Chris. You didn't know nobody. The alliances were people who already know each other. Many of these people already know each other. And that's information that we're just now getting. And I feel like it would be that way in any city. If I was 30 something and went out, to do this project here in Orlando, first of all, the Black community in Orlando is a very small one. It's not like being in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Which is also a very small one. It's just Black populated. I'm just saying. Chances are, yes, some of y'all are going to know each other. Not just the girls, not just the guys, but the girls, the guys, all of y'all as people know each other, have run across each other, have socialized with each other on some level. So that automatically creates an alliance. The game is get to the end. We don't have to like be in love for real, for real. Now, if that happens, that's real cute. If something blossoms off of it, that's real cute. Most of the time, these people date for a little while until they get on each other's nerves, and then it's on to the next thing. And that's how dating works. Like that shit sucks. And relationships are hard too. So, I think the older you get, the longer your relationships. The older you get, the harder it is to like, because you get set in your way. So the harder it is to pair up with somebody. And I don't know. I guess your non-negotiables, you need to really think about those things because those are the things that, get you bonded with a person. Anyway, I watched Jessica's interview with Crystal XO and still didn't see her as, this person that they said she was. I thought it was very smart of her to push her own podcast because, well, that's just smart. I can't, like, are we mad at her because she did that? 'Cause I'm not. So, and at the end of the day, the conversation is really not even that deep. Everybody is analyzing it to this, like, he comes from here and these are his culture, these are her ways. And, I guess that's true. Um, Jessica is a woman in her late 30s who is going through egg retrieval, which is very smart because at some point she wants a family, but at this point she hasn't found the person that she wants to be her person. And all of these things factor in that they've gone through, like the tarot cards and the crystals and the religion and all of that. Like her father's a pastor. Okay. She's an educated woman. Smart people tend to like debate the facts with you because they're smart and they know more stuff. Saying. And if you read up on your own, and that's what it takes, a lot of reading. If you're that kind of person that reads a lot of shit and does a lot of research, then you are well informed too. And I'm sure Chris is well informed about the shit he knows about. But she's had a life, and a life that not many people have. But she is one of these girls that have this very stringent list of what a man has to be in order to be her partner. This is what she was saying over on her podcast. And it's interesting because she copped to it and she's realizing, I think, as I get older, some of that stuff is stupid. This list is stupid. That's not how that should work either. I have a friend that does that. I'm like, can you stop with the list? It's one thing to have standards, but your list is getting in your way of enjoying a person in your space for as long as they supposed to be there. Y'all be the ones signed up to forever, happily ever after till death do us part. I'm not happy. I'm not signing that contract. Sorry, y'all, not gonna do it. That's just me. If that's how y'all want to do it, then do it. But once you contract yourself to somebody, you better make it be a somebody that you really do like have some type of connection with. So she's learning that. Motherhood is one of those things as women that we don't get to when you make the choice to be a businesswoman, have a career, which most of us at this point have no, I don't think a whole lot of girls at this point are signing up to be a housewife. And all of these rules that comes from the book of rules kind of designed for women to want to stay home and, take care of men and children. She ain't that. Not only is she not that, she was raised as a preacher's kid. So I feel like she might actually be rebelling against it to some extent. Like, yeah, not going to be that. Like, what's the name over at Love and Marriage Detroit? Both of them, Christina and Colby, although Colby is getting sucked the hell in, they both were like, man, I don't want to be a preacher's wife. So, I feel like Jessica might be rebelling against that a little bit. Sorry, y'all. I like Jessica. Um, Maybe she's just too direct for you. I think she's very much different than Lee and Kat, who I also like. Only one I don't like is Janelle. Like you honestly, you can't be running around like pulling up and putting your hands on people and snapping in people's face. Her energy, I wouldn't have to like physically be anywhere near any of that. The rest of them, I actually liked them too. Um, they just present differently. Lee is soft and soft spoken and great body, all of this kind of sexual energy, but then she says she stay at home all the time. So she also has a connection with Chris, which probably she just doesn't feel the need to go back and forth with him. She's just gonna take his gifts until she's done listening to that bullshit he be talking, because Chris is a liar. Kat is over here. She's over here praying a Portia prayer. That came out of her mouth. You want to see all of these interviews, go over to Crystal XO because you know they all go over there with her and Little Black Book and sell themselves away from production. And I feel like the way production is producing, you almost need to. Like, we don't really get an idea of who these people are at all when we watch the show. We just got to do a lot of guessing in between the foolishness. Tranquilla, that's another one who, like, over there with Janelle. Those two are two. I could tolerate the cheerleader girl. What's her name? Kira. She just be saying stupid shit. So you just listen to her say something stupid and then look at each other. Um, like I said, all the ladies are likable. Jessica is just, I think, more direct. Kat and Lee present differently. But I mean, if you're out here with the Portia prayer, Kat, then hell, maybe she's looking for a Nigerian to come take care of her life for her. It's not that she needs it because she has a career of her own. And he said something like that when he was talking to Crystal. Like, he has three examples, and I'm guessing he meant Lee, Aries, and Kat, who are also bosses, but they know how to present themselves soft. Bottom line is, Chris and Jessica never should have been together in the first place. There was no way for their interaction to be anything but explosive. It turned out exactly the way it was going to turn out. I mean, the way it did turn out, because everything that comes out of her mouth, that's not to say she made him do that. That's to say, Chris is too damn sensitive and emotional to have somebody like that's very strong. I'm sure this lady's not perfect because most of us are not perfect. However, she's likable enough, and I'm very impressed with her business savvy and her intellect. Like, she was very much nice to, like, the way she communicates. I enjoy it outside of this foolishness that's going on the show. But matter of fact, I'm gonna be buying her coffee. I'm gonna buy products this holiday season from everybody that I interview. Child, I'm good on that. That I review. Um, I want some Harper Ray jewelry. I want some bottle of opulence wine. What else? I want a Ezra coffee. Small businesses. I don't want no She by Sheree, and if I did, even if I was willing to pay $300 for a hoodie that I may or may not get, I wouldn't be supporting her, because for other reasons. I'm getting way too off subject, but reel it back in, girl. Where were we at? We were talking about these two people's personalities. At the end of the day, like, that's enough about Jessica. That's just how I feel about her. Like I said, I don't know the lady. I might meet her and be like, oh no. But just based on what I saw, I'm like, oh, I'm not getting, like, the things y'all are saying about her is not making sense. And it does suck to be having somebody out here calling you combative when you know you're not. If I don't get to respond or I don't get to have an opinion, that's what you consider combative. Apparently this dude, Chris, is the son of a prince of, I don't know. I don't care, because that's not, then he should find someone that, is willing to servitude his ass, just like his ex-girlfriend. It didn't work for her. It might work for the next person. I don't know. I feel like, Chris, most women are not just going to let you tell them what to do and make all the decisions. And his culture is very much different than this, independent woman world that we living in here. I think he understands that. He just, he can find it. I'm sure he will. He can find it. Hell, if Ernesto can find him a Shirley Strawberry, then surely Chris with his cute self. I'm gonna give him that. Minus the hair, hat made of hair. I'm not sure about that, Chris. Either you've got on a hat made of hair or your barber sucks and you should see an esthetician. I'm just saying. All those things are things we're paying attention to. And since you have all of these needs to, lead and leadership, and those are all things that's his verbiage. Combative and leadership. Like he really wants servitude. It's a requirement. And those 2 women over there that he's claiming, the 3 women, Aries says straight out, it's not going to happen. Hey, cute or whatever, but none of them are finna servitude. So that's, you're cute, you're funny, I'm sure. You're also a liar, Chris. You be lying, and I feel like that's a problem. So I don't understand really the whole, I don't know, campaign, I want to call it, to find a reason to excuse this nigga for acting a fool the way he did. Combative and F you and F your life and F everybody you know and F the horse you came in on. He was just a F'ity all over the place at this lady. And she was sitting there saying nothing. And he should have been that worked up. Like you sat there and said how women can't lead because they're too emotional. And that's the first she was crying about your mama. I'm not sure that wasn't an act, and I'm not sure this wasn't an act either. Are they actors? So this, as part of this cast, I'm never really sure what these people are really trying to do. I think Jessica came there to sell her coffee. Good job, sold. I'm definitely gonna try it. I just the idea of spending some Black dollars over there with some coffee. That's something that I do anyway. I drink coffee. I don't know. I don't know what the point is to go find the love of your life. I don't think that's it, because dating is awkward enough as it is, just, in your private life. So I can't imagine people thinking that going on a television show is going to help you find the love of your life. So I don't know what their whole thing is. I think Chris is a liar because I synced it. And I also think he is disrespectful because I heard it. That part. So Chris is describing the fact that him and Lee, the discord in their quick little relationship that they had for 15 minutes, I don't know. He was describing the demise of their relationship and why the whole idea of their, what did he call it, their combative moment. He's describing that to Crystal XO. So let's listen to that and then we'll talk about it.
For Chris. So I had a conversation with Jessica yesterday, Chris, and after watching the reunion, it was just so many questions that I had because initially I remember, I've been doing recaps every week on the show, and it was so clear to myself and to most people that watched. I talked about it with my chat every Friday night, and then with some other alumni from the show. I remember at that hoedown, right? And Jessica was like, I'm going to get him and make sure all the ladies know this is mine right here. You guys were, you were arm in arm. And it was clear that she was kind of like staking her claim, right? Yeah. And so I asked her, how did you guys go from that to it being consistently, you guys consistently bumping heads and getting to that space? Yeah. So can you kind of give us, because Jessica didn't really give us details. She said that she did go detail in her podcast. So
so she didn't just shoot it straight?
She did not give. She said that there was point by point on her podcast that she.
Okay. So you gotta go to a podcast.
So yeah. So I would love to hear from your perspective what happened that we did not see. Because from what we saw, it just doesn't make sense that you would go from being hugged up, and then you did say at least twice, I'm not getting a nurturing side from you, but that still doesn't explain how we ended up to F you. And I told
and
Mo
everything, but
it sounded like the Tupac diss.
hey, stop playing with me, because you know I love Pac, and that's one of my favorite
It was
tracks.
like every
That's
chick in the click you claim. I was
yeah.
like, yo.
First off, hey Chris, you better have me acting up tonight, but I'm gonna keep it real. But you,
All right, so take us back to the
hold
hoedown.
on. Where's my mic? I'm gonna tell Alexa play Pac. Well, all right.
Right.
So, I mean, Jessica is correct. You know, when we first got there, she was the first person I saw at the mixer.
Yes.
I really liked her dress. You know, and she was
Yeah.
she looked nice. You know, I think she was attractive. And those are just the first thing, because the first thing you see is the physical thing. Right. And I kid you not, every single woman on our cast is beautiful to me. Yes. They're gorgeous, so you can't lose. You know, so she was the first person. Showed that initial attention. We talked a lot, you know, and so it was great. I was like, okay, cool. You know, let me dig a little bit deeper. And for everybody, we're talking to people that we traditionally wouldn't talk to in a normal setting, right? So, which is cool, because it allows you to dig a lot deeper, you know, because I feel physical is less than 10%, but it's the very first attraction. Once you find out about a person, the physical doesn't even matter at that point, right? The aesthetics doesn't even matter. Once you find out, then it's like, okay, I'm gonna continue this journey to get to know this person. And if it's something other than what you expect, you're gonna retreat, right? So, and I don't want to go, because I know we got a lot to talk about. Because I keep going, because I got a lot of points.
No, we want to know everything.
And,
I talked to Jessica for 2 hours yesterday, and we want to know everything. So I feel like people are invested in this.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, when you and I were talking back and forth on IG, I think this conversation is bigger than just you and Jessica. I think that there are some issues with community, because and that's why I asked Mo to be a part of this, because he and I have had this conversation about how does it end like this with men and women. So I want us to really be transparent about how do we get from and I also think a lot of women feel like, as long as I'm attractive and successful,
bingo. And
that's the biggest thing a lot of times.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and you know, I would say guys like us are most decent guys, right? That's all a lot of women see, right? And then once they talk to a guy like us, and they're like, oh, he's more than just a pretty face or a muscle or this and that. Once you dig a lot deeper, because it's like, don't get, you know, we always say in our fraternity, don't get fooled by the pretty. Don't let the pretty face fool you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's more, it's deep, it's levels to this. This is just the introduction. Right. So now let's open up the chapters of this book, and let's see what this book is talking about. So to get back on track with Jessica, we hit it off. She was like my very first connection, and it took a turn when it came to my office. So we was having a discussion, and she didn't like the word I said. I think I said you're a strong black woman, and I like that. She paused, stopped everybody, like, no, you cannot say that. And the camera and the production was like, he could say what he want to say, and I'm like, well, you a very strong black woman. Let's get to it. And the thing, when I did that, she actually, it aroused her. Like, I almost called my construction team to bring one of the wet floor signs, because she was really turned on, you know. And my thing is like, that's not what I want to come home to every day. You know, I have to talk to my woman like that to get an arouse out of her, to make her smile, because that was the first time I seen her smile that day. I don't even know, you know. So that's when I said,
clear that, because we got questions.
Go ahead. What's the question?
She said, because Jessica said, when you mentioned that you're a strong black woman, she did not like that.
Yeah, she didn't.
What did you feel like? What did you say to her that made her? Because I'm assuming that you checked her and that she liked it.
Yeah, and then she got hot and bothered.
Okay, how do you know she was hot and bothered, Chris?
Yeah, well, you can look at a woman's face and be like, when you get like,
no, yeah. We can fake it better than any.
Oh, well, she faked it good. I'm okay with that. As long as I'm enjoying myself, you can fake it all day long.
So a couple things. I'm so confused by this. So he called her a strong black woman. She halted production and says you can't say that. And production's like, oh, he can say whatever he wants. That's how that happened. I don't know. I wasn't there. She doesn't like to be called a strong black woman. Is that a bit over the top? Maybe. I mean, I don't love it, but I guess I wouldn't be bent out of shape if somebody said it. I might respond, in a way that he might consider combative because I'm kind of passive aggressive, like I said before. So more than likely, I would say something shitty, and either way, he's still gonna be offended. I don't need to halt production because don't call me that, but I probably would say some slick shit. I feel like the outcome is gonna be the same because this nigga's very high on don't be disrespecting him. In his words, he checked her and she got aroused. That part's confusing. What the hell are you talking about? This is douchebag behavior. So I feel like it's not even just Jessica. I feel like just based on the things that he's saying, if he feel like he need to check you, then you might get cussed out. That look on his face when he was sitting there breathing hard because, she said or didn't say whatever it was she said. Like, I seriously don't believe it was that big of a deal. I don't. Everybody's looking for the thing. What did she say to set him off? I don't think there was anything. I don't. I think he was so mad that he was about to get sent home because he's going to lose the game. And he's not a loser. He's a winner. He's not just a winner. He's a man. Child, what else did he say that sounded daggum stupid? Sitting up there talking about she was aroused. Crystal's like, I mean, how do you know that? I could tell. I could tell when a woman's aroused by she gives you that look. I guess stop. There was another clip. Oh, the clip where he's talking about his ex didn't like Jessica. Let's look at that one.
And that was just that. And then as far as with the ex date, it was supposed to be Katarina, Lee, and Eric. Yeah, Lee came to the house. We had a date there. It was amazing. My ex loved Aries and Lee. She was like, they are it. She said, Chris, Jessica is not. I said, I already know. I don't know why she was there.
Yeah.
So she said she was praising them. And like so I heard somebody say something that she said something about combative at the ex date. That did not happen. And I asked Aries, did you hear that? Aries said no. So which I already know who was the mole within the guys, which we'll get to that was going back and delivering the gospel in their words, So that's what
let's stop and talk about the ex date because I remember just from what we saw when Jessica arrived, the energy kind of shifted, right? At least that was said. But then the ex, was she serious when she said that she was just in servitude? What
is that? Me and Aries laughed so hard about that. And so so one thing Kat told me, I wasn't saying I'm getting on Aries. Kat was like, they wanted to write you in as a controlling Nigerian. It's like they picked the wrong Nigerian because you're far from it. I said, I know. And so Aries was like, she did not like Jessica. She put some extra hot sauce on that chicken, And so no offense to any vegans, but she said she put some serious meat on it. And so so I was like, nah, my ex phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? She did do all those things, but we was on and off for a long time and I wasn't pushing the envelope. When my ex said that I wasn't there, I wasn't whatever for her, that was the very first time I heard it on national television. So I'm like, why didn't you say that during a relationship? Maybe things would have been different. I don't know. So, and at that moment, instead of me saying something else, I just apologized because that's her real feelings. Whether she said on a reality show or she said, in my back patio, that's her real feelings. And that wasn't my intention. So I immediately apologized. That was my reaction on that, but she put a little extra on it, you know, but Jessica did, because it was a quiet place, and she did come in, you know, kind of abrupt, you know, and it seemed like they were kind of like
Going
at
back
each
and forth.
other a little bit. Me and Aries kind of was just there,
Yeah.
but because they're both very smart individuals. Jessica's smart, my ex is smart. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that your ex was saying that? Do you think she said she was in servitude and all that to get at Jessica, for Jessica not to like you, or what? What do you think she said that for?
Well, I think she knew she wasn't good for me, you know, and you're gonna always protect people you love, you know, and the way you do it is up to you. But she did do a lot of things, you know, she really did. And then she also was telling Aries, there's not one thing that this man wouldn't do for me. If it was 3 o'clock in the morning and I needed, he would drive to Oklahoma to do whatever, change the flag, just go get a cup of coffee or whatever. And that's the type of man I am. So she said all that to Aries when the other girl, when Jessica, excuse me, I didn't mean to say other girl, I couldn't think of her name. When Jessica came, it was totally different. Like, nah, it's almost like she didn't deserve to be with a man like this, you know, in a sense.
So Jessica says she did not come in loud. Was she loud? What? Because that's one of the things that she said. She was not combative because she said that she always keeps her voice low and she's not arguing back and forth. So, what, from your perspective, do you
I
agree?
feel it didn't take much to come in kind of loud because it was quiet, you know, it was just me and Aries and the ex. So so that can be taken multiple ways, because since it wasn't that, it was just quiet in there, any influx of voice is gonna kind of feel loud,
Like it
you
was
know. But she did like say I'm here now type stuff. So that's just subjective, and that ain't even a bad thing, you know. It's not even if you came in loud, soft, or whatever. Just the energy was shifted.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Okay. I just want you to clarify when you said that she was strong initially. I just want to make sure that that was, you saw that as a compliment.
As a
That's
yes,
okay.
bingo. And that's what I said, and I like that in the woman. I don't know if you remember that part, because that's just what I like. I like a strong woman. Strong doesn't necessarily have to mean combative or have to be a negative thing. You're just
Again, he's talking about she came in the room loud, and you know, he's backtracking now. Now he's just like, well, there was nobody talking, so I could see why, you know, people would think she was loud. At the end of the day, as soon as she came in, he didn't want her there. He's saying the energy changed. The energy changes because you didn't want her there. Y'all had this exchange. You've already decided that she is too combative, you know. I don't think she wanted to be there either. So now you got two people in the room, you know, faking the funk. But y'all signed up for this game show, so you got to fake the funk. He's saying that his ex immediately didn't like her. Maybe she recognized that this lady is not going to be servitude for you. So you should probably know. She just loved Lee and Aries, which I find weird. Why? Why does she love them so much? Why is it somebody that you know you were in a relationship in servitude and he decided not to marry you, but now he's wants you to help him pick? Okay, Chris. Um, Then there's the whole exchange with him and Mario. Mario shows up because why? Because he's a part of the other alliance. Let's see. You got Quentin, Janelle, Lee, Aries, and Kat. That's 5 people. 5 people in an alliance. Then you've got Jessica. No, wait. That's wrong. You got Quentin, Janelle, Jessica, Maurier. Right. And then you have Lee, Chris, Aries, and Kat. Okay. So now you got 4 and 4. Herbert's out of here. Herbert seemed very surprised that he was going. That got rid of Herbert. Who knew Jessica also, who Jessica says she knew for a very long time. So there's no Herbert. That means Maurier is the one that's going in between. He's got Jessica on one side, and now he's over here trying to bond with Kat for whatever reason. I don't know that that's a thing. They're over here playing the game, and the game goes deep. But why are we just judging Jessica though? Like, I feel like all of them, everybody plays a role, and maybe it's because her role is to be the strong Black woman. She don't want to be that. She don't want to be that. Y'all not gonna create a narrative for her. Kat and Lee, like I said, are the softies, and Aries is the nice girl. Aries and Phil win. They just get to like rub on each other's feet and stuff and watch this whole shit play out, I suppose. Anyway, it's just curious to me though, why in this whole situation, everybody is working so hard to defend Chris from his bad behavior. Him and Mario, well, for me, are exactly who I thought they were.
Maurier.
What's going
up,
on?
Maurier?
What's up, lying ass boy?
Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm a man. Don't call me boy. Don't play like that.
You're a boy. You're a boy, bro.
Okay, hold, Maurier.
Whoa.
Wait, Maurier.
Keep going.
Hold on.
Okay.
First of all, welcome to the show.
Man,
Hello,
you know you
right.
respect me more than that, man. Come on.
I'm sorry.
How we gonna have a conversation? You gonna come at me like that?
Bro, you literally just called me. You just called me Messy Mario. Chill out.
No, she called you Mr. Maurier on the others, but you really are though.
You lying again. You lying. You're the only person that been shown as a liar on TV. When you came up to that room, Lee was getting on you. Hold on, let's backtrack.
Keep going.
With all these so-called fake connections that you had, you did not have not one single one of them connections. Jessica was your real connection all the way up until your ex date. You said Jessica number one. I know that to be true because we shared the same connection. Okay. Moving forward, and when the ex day came back, it went to a hard note. All of a sudden, Jessica was your number one date up until it didn't start. No, everybody in the chat, did that conversation of him even make sense about why Jessica all of a sudden got turned on by him? Jessica's narrative is pushed that she is.
Go back and listen to what she said about that date when she said, "Oh, I kind of like."
We heard your lies already. We gotta clear all this up with you.
Hold on, hold on, Chris. Let Maurier talk.
Okay. Yeah, let's debunk this stuff real quick. So you mean to tell me an individual who is being called by both men and women, everybody, that she shows no emotion, no expression. Meanwhile, you were somehow, some way able to turn her on by calling her a strong Black woman. That don't even make sense, Chris. That lie don't even make sense. Let's put it together. Let's fast forward. She was your number one connection over every single person. You did not have no Katarina in there. You didn't have no Aries in there. You put Lee in there towards the end. Now, get to the house trip. Did you or did you not walk up to me secretly on your phone, texting and saying, "Hey, man, I don't know what I'm going to do about Lee. I'm losing her." Did you or not? Right or wrong, true or false?
If I take because I told you I just said.
Listen.
I just said you need to go say something to her. You asked me a question. You asked me a question. Can I answer it?
I just asked for yes or no.
Can I answer the question?
Let him answer.
I just say, I said, Maurier, go and tell this one what you said because you messing up my situation.
No, we're talking about
the same thing.
I'm talking about two complete different things. This was the note that you put on the phone before. This is the first day. We in the kitchen. We standing in the kitchen. You typing a note because we had a thing about the burgers are on the grill. They were. We know.
Chris is a little, punk ass, and Maurier is a little gossipy ass, biatch. They both of them is bitches. They are two bitches sitting up there arguing back and forth with each other. The exchange was exhausting. They over there like, I got texts, and why are you doing this? It was a whole full-on fight of these two trying to, Chris, I'm assuming, thinks he's the better looking of the two. Like, how could somebody ever think that, you would want Maurier over my cute ass? I feel like that's because he's over here. He did reference to himself, as don't let the pretty face fool you. I'm gonna show you that clip. Crystal said something about she thinks, which I was like, well, who are you talking about? Crystal says she thinks that a lot of women think all they got to do is show up and be pretty and be successful, and that's enough. And I'm like, well, what else you want? I don't know. Anyway. And he said, yeah, like with him, like, don't let the pretty face fool you. Basically, he think he fine too. And I'm not mad at that. I just don't know what that has to do with anything. Like, that's not necessarily what makes a person want in a relationship. Yes, you need more. You need to be more than cute, Chris. But don't be hating on Mario over here because his waves is real. They not made from a hat made of hair. I'm just saying. Yeah, Maurier is giving, exactly what I thought he was. He, messy Mario, and lying ass little boy. Yes, I think that's the title of this little video. Messy Mario and a lying ass little boy, because that's what they are. And this shit is ridiculous. At the end of the day, like I said, Jessica and Chris do not belong together. I don't know why things got the way they did. I guess because Mr. Emotional Leader over here decided he wanted to cuss people out.
So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is the big bomb.
As you know, we had our conversations today. The ladies discussed. It was conversation around this past weekend and some of the verbiage. The word combative was very off-putting and extremely inappropriate. The sentiment for the room was that you're not ready to love.
I didn't call you combative. Whatever he said, that was on him. That came out of his words. So give me the same respect when I'm not around.
You clearly feel a way about something.
It ain't a something. Stop peddling around. We know what it is. Initially, you were my first connection until I realized how of a person you were. And I'm like, I'm good. Like, you are combative. You are a mean girl. You and Janelle both.
I think you're angry about some things that have nothing to do with me, and you assume that they do.
I'm not gonna just hold my tongue anymore because I'm trying to respect you as a woman, but you don't show me no respect.
You sure?
I'm a man first before I'm anything.
So at what point did you feel disrespected?
You don't know about me. So you and everything about you.
Chris has lost his entire mind, but if he wants to act a fool, he wants to scream and holler and cuss, that's fine. I'm glad that I actually saw the real Chris.
Because he could have just got up out of his seat and went the hell on. Y'all still got everybody's number. Y'all still texting. And so the reason you're mad is because you didn't win the game. Whatever the hell the game is. I don't know. I don't know, child. Chris, you won't be walking over no bridges with no bouquet of roses to give to Lee. You got it a shoe. You had your bridge moment already. You win. At the end of the day, I think y'all are on bullshit. I think that y'all are definitely like judging Jessica way too harsh just because she's got a resting bitch face. She's still pretty and she's still smart. And I feel like she's probably got a lot of substance. So I don't know what people mean when they say that you got to bring more to the table than just being pretty and successful, because I feel like she probably definitely does. If we're going to pick apart people by their culture and their issues, honey, everybody going to have to take a seat. I'm not about to do that. So, yeah, y'all, I just had to get that off my chest. So, fuck Chris and fuck everything about him, because I think he's a little punk ass. So let me go get me some Ezra coffee. Like the video, subscribe to my channel.